Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into an incredible story from the book of 2 Chronicles. It's a gripping tale about a kingdom that rockets to glorious heights and then comes crashing down in an instant. So here's our roadmap. We're going to journey through 6 key chapters, and we'll see everything from the absolute peak of divine blessing all the way to the crushing consequences of one single, really bad decision. All right, so our story kicks off at an absolute high point. We're talking about the dedication of Solomon's temple, and the response from heaven, well, it's just breathtaking. Get this. The moment Solomon finishes his prayer, fire literally falls from the sky and just consumes all the offerings. And then the glory of God himself fills the temple, and it's so intense, so powerful, that the priests can't even walk inside. Talk about an undeniable sign of approval. And the scale of this celebration was just immense. We're talking 142,000 animals. This wasn't some quiet little ceremony. This was a massive nationwide party of worship and feasting that went on for 2 solid weeks. Now, this slide right here is really the heart of the matter. God appears to Solomon in a vision at night and lays out this conditional promise. You can think of it as a divine blueprint, a really clear if-then statement for the entire nation. And here's the crucial part. That incredible promise of blessing came with a very stark warning. The fate of the nation, its prosperity, its very existence, was now directly tied to its obedience. This is the theme for everything that's about to happen. Blessing or curse, the choice was theirs. Okay, so let's move into the next chapter and see how this all plays out. With God's blessing, Solomon's reign kicks off an era of just unprecedented construction, order, and wealth. For 2 whole decades, Solomon completely transforms the kingdom. He's not just building the temple and his own palace. He's building fortified cities, major centers for trade. This is a kingdom at the absolute height of its power. And the wealth, it was just staggering. To give you some perspective, 450 talents of gold is about 17 tons. 17 tons. And that was just from one trip. International trade was absolutely booming. So, as you can imagine, word starts to get around. Solomon's fame spreads all over the world. His wisdom, which was a gift from God, becomes his greatest asset, and it draws leaders from faraway lands who just have to see it for themselves. And the visit from the Queen of Sheba just confirms everything. Solomon's kingdom is the envy of the entire world. She's completely blown away not just by the piles of gold, but by the divine wisdom behind it all. She saw that this wasn't just human achievement, it was a reflection of God's favor. His wealth was just legendary. He had hundreds of shields made of pure, beaten gold for his palace. Gold was so common that silver was basically worthless, like stones in the street. The kingdom was, quite literally, golden. But after 40 years, Solomon dies, and his son, Rehoboam, takes the throne. And this is the pivot point for the entire story. The future of the whole kingdom now hangs on a single decision. This slide just lays out the tragedy perfectly. Rehoboam had a clear choice. Listen to the old, wise elders who advised him to be kind, or listen to his young buddies who told him to use brute force. He chose arrogance over wisdom, and that one choice, it changed everything. And his response, oh man, it is just brutal. It's not just unwise, it's a deliberate threat. He doesn't just say no, he promises to be even harsher. And with those few words, he completely shatters the unity his father and grandfather had worked so hard to build. The reaction is immediate, and it is decisive. The 10 northern tribes rebel right then and there. They declare they're done with the house of David. And just like that, in one moment of pure pride, the United Kingdom is broken in 2. So Rehoboam, now king of this much smaller kingdom of Judah and Benjamin, gets ready for a civil war. He pulls together 180,000 warriors to go force the northern tribes back into line. But then, once again, a message from God steps in. And in this one rare moment of clarity, Rehoboam actually listens. He accepts that this division is God's will, and he backs down. He focuses on strengthening his new, smaller kingdom instead. And for 3 years, as long as they followed God, his kingdom was strong. But this period of stability, it doesn't last. The second Rehoboam feels secure, he makes a fatal mistake. He and his people abandon God's law. They forget the very foundation of their security. And the consequence is swift and it is devastating. It's a direct echo of that warning God gave Solomon. A massive Egyptian army comes sweeping in and just rolls over all those fortified cities Rehoboam had built. Now, do you remember that ultimate symbol of Solomon's wealth and glory? Those hundreds of golden shields hanging in his palace? This shining testament to a blessed nation? Well, Shishak, the Egyptian king, takes every single one of them. And as a replacement, all Rehoboam can afford to make are shields of brass. This is probably the most powerful image in the whole story. The glory of gold replaced by the utility of brass. A perfect, tangible symbol of their spiritual decay. But here's the crucial point. When he's confronted with his sin, Rehoboam finally humbles himself. And that one act of repentance, just like God promised way back in the beginning, saves the nation from being completely destroyed. Now, they're not spared from the consequences. They now have to serve Egypt, but they are spared from annihilation. So this whole story leaves us with a really powerful question. Yeah, it's an ancient account of leadership and consequences, but it hammers home this timeless truth. Humility, not gold, is the real currency of deliverance. And it forces us to ask ourselves, when all the outward shine is gone, what's truly left?